Hello everyone. In this video we're going to be taking a look at the Outdoor Edge Knife Sharpener Tungsten Carbide Make the Cut. Now I'm going to be honest here, I don't really care about the brand of this knife sharpener really at all. I just wanted a tungsten carbide handled knife sharpener just like this. And the other reason I picked this one up in particular was because I was ordering some stuff from MidwayUSA, and if I ordered, I believe it was $8 more worth of stuff, I got shipping for free, which my shipping happened to be $9. So by buying something that's $8, I actually saved $1. And that's why I bought it. Although I have been looking for one of these for a while, or wanting to pick one of these up for a while, not necessarily to sharpen my knives, but to sharpen things like, say, my machete. Because for sharpening knives, I honestly really love my Spider Triangle Sharp Maker. I've had this thing for quite a while. I have sharpened a lot of knives with it. It works great. It's easy to use. It's simple. Some people like it better than others. I myself really like it. I have no problem getting all of my knives amply sharp. But where things do get tricky with the Spyderco Triangle Sharp Maker is when you try to do something, say, long. Now I myself, I don't care to keep my machete blade razor sharp. I know some people do. I just like it to be sharp. And if you look, you can actually see there's quite a bit of nicking, some folding here. It's just not in the greatest shape at the moment. Now I normally just use a file to file this all out and get it sharp again, but I thought if this thing could actually do the job more easily, or maybe even better, why not pick one up for, well, -$1? So I did. Now I'm going to be honest, I actually kind of always saw these things much like your little knife sharpeners like this, that maybe in a pinch they'll work, or they'll do something for you, but other than that, they're really not worth much. -$1 maybe. Let's go ahead and take a look at the back of the packaging. Place knife on solid flat surface with cutting edge facing up and extending past edge. Yeah, I read that right. Push down grinding knife handle securely against surface. Oh, gripping. Sorry, gripping, grinding. That didn't make any sense. Gripping knife handle securely against surface. Grip of the sharpener handle. Keep fingers inside handle guard and thumb securely on top grip. Pardon me for reading this upside down. It does make me sound a bit special. Using any other grip can cause serious injury. Ooh, serious injury. That's what we always like to see. Place head of the sharpener over back edge of blade and position at a 90-degree angle to the cutting edge. Hold knife with one hand and sharpener in the other, applying light pressure and draw sharpener over cutting edge from back to tip. Repeat 3 to 4 times to reshape. If knife is extremely dull or made of a harder steel, additional passes may be required. Carbide bits are reversible and replaceable. When they fail to sharpen, remove the single screw and plastic cover from sharpener head. That sounded kind of funny. Flip carbide over and replace cover screw. Replacement carbides are available from Outdoor Edge. So hey, look, if you wear out your carbides, you can always replace them. Knife sharpener, tungsten carbide. Let's go ahead and remove it from the package. You may see I'm using side cuts here opposed to a knife because, well, I had side cuts sitting on the table, and let's be honest, it's a lot safer to do that with zip ties than it is to, say, take your knife and put it under the edge and possibly cut yourself. There's our screw that we can remove. I guess since we're here, if I have a Phillips head screwdriver nearby, which it doesn't look like I do, but we can always make something work here. Maybe. Nope, I cannot make that work. So, give me a second here. Okay, now we're back. I actually have a proper handle Hopefully this Phillips head fits here. Oh yeah, there we go. There we go. Just to take a look. I haven't used it obviously, so don't really need to flip these carbides, but we might as well take a look and see how it's done, since we did just read all about it. If I can get that out of there. There, ooh. Well, that's not going to work out well for the demonstration here in a moment. Okay, there we go. Now you can see that's how your carbides go in. Assuming you just kind of have to pop this other one out. Though there is some metal or something in there. Yeah, you just push that one right out. Just like that. Okay, ooh, man. I don't feel like this is very precision. I could be wrong. Could be wrong. Could be very precision, but there's a piece of plastic in here that seems like it's keeping it from sitting correctly. Yeah, and that is the proper use of a punch, if you didn't know that. There we go. That seems a bit more proper, just like we like things around here. Proper. Proper. There you go. Let's go ahead and put our holder back in place. Watch, I've totally ruined everything by removing that small piece of plastic. I mean, you can see this is a well-constructed unit, mostly all plastic, except for the carbides and the metal screw. And then we will definitely make sure not to over-tighten that. And since I had the machete up here earlier, let's see if we can do this. Now, I'd probably do this the other way if I weren't doing it on camera. But given that it says at a 90-degree angle, so I am going to keep it just like this. Oh, well, I definitely saw something come off of there. Wow. Actually, it's done quite a bit. Ooh. So that was 3 passes. Now with 3 passes, we're going to go ahead and see how well this machete cuts, because I actually think that still looks pretty awful. Pretty awful. Let's go ahead and take our block of wood here that we've used for other knife demonstrations. And I've got a cut-resistant glove. We'll see if we can just chop this glove off. Well, hold on. You gotta have some safety equipment here. Don't want to do things in an unsafe manner. Cut-resistant glove. Okay, so here we go. Now I'm just gonna chop. I'm just gonna kind of use right here. This part of the edge still looked pretty gnarly, so just gotta do a good hard chop. We'll see if it can cut this finger off. Oh. Oh. Okay, well, it did cut that finger off, but it did leave a little bit to be desired. But it did cut the finger off the cut-resistant glove. Let's see if we can do another one. I don't feel like that was a good one. Oh, this is getting closer. I'm going to try back here, right above the knuckle. Oh yeah, no, that still cut it right off. Well, that doesn't seem like the cut-resistant glove is going to do. So I guess we'll have to bring up our 10,000, 12,000, 15,000 pound lifting strap. I can't remember what it is right offhand. So let's go ahead and see what one good whacker with the machete does here. Okay. Oh, now that cut nearly through it. Almost, but not quite. Very nearly. So we gave this like 3 passes just to kind of bring it to where it would have been if I'd filed it. And it would have taken me a lot longer time than what it just took me to do the 3 passes to file it. So let's go ahead and give it another, I don't know, I was gonna say 6 passes, but that seems excessive, so let's go 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, now let's take a look. Well, that is actually looking quite a bit better. Now, ooh, feels pretty sharp. Now I'm going to attempt to get the curve here. Should have probably done this before I sharpened the other part of it so much. You know, I think I will try to go back. This is probably the absolute wrong way to do this. But my machete has done good for me for a long, long time. And I'm sure it's going to do good for me now. It really is taking off a lot of metal. I cannot believe how much material this is removing. Okay, well. Oh, that's definitely sharper. This is almost too sharp for a machete in my opinion. Okay, well we did 9 on this part of the blade. Now let's go ahead and... Now that removed quite a bit of metal. Quite a bit of metal. Zoom in on that real quick. That is a lot of metal. Right here and here. Well, let's see what it'll do to our lifting strap now. It's our last cut. Not quite all the way through. Cut resistant glove. Okay. I'm going to do about the same power. Oh. Oh. Well now, as you can see, oh, it did make it slightly further through it. It's kind of hard to tell with all that, but as you can see here, let's give it another one, just for consistency. You know, luckily I have bunches of these at work. Okay, consistency. Oh yeah, no, that is definitely a better cut than our first cut. Now, if I were willing to hit it harder, I bet it would cut right through it. I'm actually really, really impressed with how sharp this is at the moment. And honestly, after the video, I think I'm probably going to work on it a little more. But I have a couple more things to test. Because the other thing I thought about that it might be good for is my hatchet. I've had this hatchet a long time, since I was like 13 years old. And again, something I normally use a file on to sharpen. As you can see, I haven't sharpened it in a while. But I thought this might be appropriate for sharpening a hatchet. So let's go ahead and give it a try. But it's gonna leave a big pile of metal just like the machete did. I will say this is very intuitive to use. It feels like once you get it kind of on the edge, it just stays on there. I don't think this will be replacing my Spyderco sharpener. But you know, for $8, maybe it will. Okay. Just like the machete, I wanted to get it at least to what I would probably do with the file. We still have a bit of a flat edge, but that's about as sharp as I'd normally have it. And that took maybe 6, 7, 8, maybe 8 passes. Seems to be pretty easy to use. Now let's see how our hatchet does in cutting our lifting strap. Well, I think I just didn't get a clean hit there. And another one. Oh, that's a better one. That was right in the center. So, as you can see, sharpen that hatchet very sharp. I mean, that is a clean cut. Very clean cut. And yeah, it's pretty sharp. Pretty sharp. Now, I think probably after this video, much like the machete, we will do some more testing with it. Or not testing, sorry, sharpening. I will do some more sharpening with it. Now, the last lawn implement that I had to try to get a bit better edge on is this extremely cheap flea market katana blade. And I say extremely cheap and flea market because, as you can see, the blade is marked stainless steel, the sign of true quality in a katana, or actually the sign of it's kind of garbage. But what I have used this for effectively over the years is yard work. I paid very little money for it, and it was razor sharp. Now, as you can see, it may not have always come out the best from this yard work. But I'm going to fix that all right now with our Outdoor Edge tungsten carbide knife sharpener. Now with this one, before I even sharpen it, well, let's start out with the cut resistant glove. See what it does. And we'll go ahead and hit it up here in this area where I've done a lot of damage to the blade. And we'll see what we can do here. Right here in the back. Oh, wow. It's not very good. Well, maybe I'll take off a finger at least. Maybe I'll take off a finger. Let's hope it takes off a finger. Let's give her a little zoom. Maybe if we zoom in on her a bit, she'll take off that finger. Well, no, doesn't. I mean, it cut it, but just barely. That is pathetic. I guess I'll test the lifting strap, I guess, before we move on. I don't think it'll be very good though. Well, I need to shorten this thing up though. See if I can do that. There we go. That's a lot shorter. Good enough. Okay. Now let's see. Right here. Now, I don't expect, especially for where we're hitting with the sword, that it is going to cut through that very well. But that is bad. That's pretty bad. Let's see. Try to move it over here. Move it to a different part of the sword. And do the same sort of power, and without hitting the camera. And so you can tell it is much sharper there. So, but either way, that's pretty dull. I actually don't have a lot of hope in this getting it sharper, but we'll see. Zoom out just a tad so you can see my nice confetti all over the table now. Okay, here we go. Let's go ahead and just do 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay. Now that is where we were trying to cut with it earlier. Still looks pretty blunt. Not looking super great, and that edge does not look that even. But it does feel much sharper where this nick is, so. Well, I guess we'll at least see if the 12 helped to remove the cut-resistant glove finger, if nothing else. And if it successfully did this, we'll move on and we'll see what it does to the nylon strap, or the lifting strap. Okay, again, about where it was damaged. Oh yeah, that's actually way better. Now again, part of it is the way and how I can swing the sword here, but that did a lot more damage. A lot more. Now I've got another cut-resistant glove here. Let me whip that guy out to give it a fair evaluation. Okay, here we go. Now let's see. Yeah, very similar, about the same. Now let's actually try to use some of the blade down here where it wasn't quite as damaged. You know, it'd been good if I hit it straight on the first time. Now see, you can't really tell, but it's actually cut through that. It just is slightly held together. So that's definitely sharper than it was. I'm not sure how much sharper it was or how much better it'll do against the lifting strap. So let's go ahead and give it a couple more passes. Let's just do 4. Said 3 to 4. We already did 12, so 6 seems like a good number. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 6. Okay. Ooh, that is actually, it is very sharp down here. I'm gonna say that right now. I didn't cut myself, but I did catch my thumb on it just a tad, and it is actually very, very sharp down here. And this is actually looking quite a bit better than it did. Still don't know how much better it'll do against that lifting strap, but I guess we're about to find out. Probably not any better. It's gonna be like, oh, well, that was pretty lame. That's okay. We don't mind around here. As long as I don't cut my mic cord. Let's go ahead and try another one. I feel like that was a good solid hit. Okay. Well, that looks about the same as it was before. Not much different. I think part of it is it's not really the proper use of the tool. Let's go ahead and try it here with the undamaged portion of the sword. Well, no, that does seem to have cut slightly deeper. That wasn't from that. That does seem to be slightly deeper. And a clean cut. Clean cut. Let's see if I can do this with it. Oh, well, that's a good sign though. Well, right up until I get it caught. Let's try it on this one. Well, that piece of paper seems to just want to fight me. Seems to want to fight me. Let's try some other notes. Yeah, that did actually make it quite a bit sharper. Right up until you catch some nick in the blade from maybe some gravel or too thick of a tree branch. But Well, it seems to be a lot sharper than it was at least. Try one more time to see if I can. Okay, well, it did make it quite a bit sharper, whether the paper wants to agree with me on it or not. In fact, I may even use this for yard work again. I don't really care for, as you can kind of see, the little lines there on the blade, on the edge. Look here. You can kind of see the same thing on, well, it's harder to see on the machete. But you can kind of see it seems to leave a little bit of a wave or a line as you go down it, but it does do a very quick and amazingly good job at sharpening these things. And if you're in the market for a simple knife sharpener like this, or you want to sharpen large knives or swords or hatchets or machetes or whatever it is you want to sharpen, we could all be a little sharper in life. This outdoor Edge Knife Sharpener carbide, tungsten carbide, probably do you a good job, especially like I said with machetes, swords, anything long. Would I use this on a really nice sword? Probably not. But if I'm using it on the sword that I use to chop undergrowth, yeah, definitely my machete, definitely my hatchet. And maybe even my kitchen knives. Maybe it might even do a good job on the kitchen knives, just if it makes it easy. The one thing I will say, it definitely removes a lot of, well, steel. You can't see that now, but it does definitely remove a lot of steel. So whether that's good or bad, and whether it actually means it's getting sharp or not, is not always easiest to tell. But if you found that informative or helpful, I really appreciate it. And thanks for watching.